catching me with no damn fishing pole. I'm flipping this whole boat, I'm sinking them. It comes with a submarine, USR, China, everything. But like I said, man, I'm the biggest shark. I'm Moby Dick. I'm the king. Ain't nobody stopping me. Strap season, man down. Make sure y'all tune in. Y'all gonna see another great show, another performance.
Boy, I trained with Roger Mayweather, you know.
We are here with Ross, the boss, Thompson. So you train with
Yeah. You know, I lived in Vegas. I moved to Vegas in 1990. You know.
Okay.
You know, living out there. I was trying to go to the '92 Olympics. You know,
Okay.
I ended up being an Olympic alternate in '92. So that's I met Derek James and all them around that time on the USA team. And I turned pro in '92. You know, I was with Richard Steele, the referee.
Yep.
Yeah, his wife was my manager. So I was living with them for a while. Then they sent me to Miami.
Look at the history.
I came back to Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, I came back to Vegas when I turned pro. You know, and then when I turned pro, started doing my thing. You know, built up 15 wins in a row. You know, and I changed management.
Okay.
95. Roger Mayweather actually kind of saved my career because they was blacklisting me. You know, I was with Barbarian, top rank. I had a fight, Adrian Stone. You know, it was kind of ugly fight. I lost my temper. I got disqualified in the fight. The Barbarian ain't want nothing to do with me no more. Then Richard Steele, me and him fell out after that fight. So I kind of went my separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Then, Roger Mayweather, you know, he always wanted to train me. So at that time, he see me, he's like, yo, Ross, man, come to Australia with me. You know, I'm gonna get you a manager. We're gonna get you back in the game. Because I probably was gonna quit at that time. I was 15-1 or something at the time. I was probably gonna quit boxing. Everybody was kind of like, wasn't fucking with me.
Okay.
You know, I felt like I was blacklisted. You know, and Roger was like, don't worry, Ross. He was about to fight Constantine. Roger was like, Ross, man, you help me get ready for Constantine. When get back to Vegas, I'm gonna get you a manager. Don't worry, you're gonna be good.
Don't worry.
Yeah, so. Went to Australia with him, you know, he fought Constantine, boom, came back. Roger rejuvenated my career, you know, and I was able to come back, you know, getting in position and fight for the world title, you know, when I fought Vargas, you know. I don't know if you probably remember the whole incidents with him, you know, smacking him at the press conference and all that, you know, and then, he won the fight, you know. It is what it is.
And that was your last professional fight?
No. I mean, I fought for years after that. I mean, I had a lot of big fights. I fought Jeff Lacey after that, Aaron Davis, you know, Kelly Pavlik. I fought a lot of world champions, you know. I always say, you know, after that fight, the thing is, I was with Don King, you know, and so there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes with Don King. So Don King kind of put me on the shelf after the fight. He owed me a fight after that fight, even though I lost. He gave me a contract. He said, "Oh, you're gonna fight Trinidad. If you beat Vargas, you're gonna fight Trinidad for $1 million. But if you lose, you're gonna get a fight $100,000 fight against any opponent you name." He never gave me that fight, you know. So when he didn't give me that fight, you know, I was kind of on the shelf for a minute, you know. Then I kind of went in a different direction, you know. But, you know, I was just taking fights, you know. It seemed like I never recovered far, you know, after the Vargas fight, I think. You know, like my career kind of went on that other side, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know. I never reached my potential in the boxing game, you know. You know, everybody knows, you know, I was a good fighter, but, you know, all of us can't make it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
It's like I said, it's not an easy game. When you were training with Roger, what's the question? How serious was the Philly shell, like, or how hard was it to learn it?
Well, it wasn't really hard because since I was a kid, growing up, my dad taught me everything pretty much, you know. So my dad had taught me so much. Like, I pretty much knew everything. So when Roger, like, because at the time, before I was training with Roger, I probably was boxing more off, you know, my natural ability. But I knew the Philly shell. My dad would show us in the gym when I was a kid, you know, drop your left hand. Because all this Philly shell, all it really is for is to lure another guy in the counter. So you're dropping your left hand on purpose. You're waiting on the guy to throw the right hand so you can roll, come back, boom, boom, counter. You know, so that's what it's for. So, you know, it was something my dad always gave me as something to do. You know what I'm saying? As another different move in the boxing game. You know, Roger more perfected. That's why Floyd.
Of course.
Yeah, they perfected that. You know, and that was more their full style. You know, I was just throwing it in there. But then when I started training with Roger, you know, I kind of went back into that style. I remember I think I fought James Page. You know, the same style I was fighting in. You know what I'm saying? And then I kind of, a lot of people say I fought like James Toney. You know, and, I say, you know, it was just my style. You know what I'm saying?
How you fought? That's all.
Yeah. You know, and so you know, it was just something more to the end of my career. It actually helps my career with not, like taking less punishment. Because the thing is, like when I was younger, I didn't fight that style. It was just more my natural reflexes. Yeah, because a lot of fighters, there's a lot of good fighters, man. But like Roger used to tell us, it's a young man game. So when you get old, you don't have those reflexes no more. You don't have those same reflexes. And you 38, fighting 24-year-olds. Yeah. You know. Look at B-Hop. B-Hop stayed in there for you know what I mean? B-Hop was because he started late though. Okay. You know, he didn't start boxing until he was about 26. He was in prison boxing, then he got out. Yeah. Then you know, so he had a lot in the tank left. Yeah. If he'd have started like us, I started when I was 8 years old. So most of the guys you see on TV, the top guys, they all started at that young age, except for heavyweight guys. You know, them lighter weight guys, you know, they usually start at a young age. So you know, that's what I think. You know, saved Hopkins. You know, and you know, Hopkins was a bad boy though. You know.
Let's take a walk up there. It's a little more quiet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now we got. Well, obviously, Tank versus Ryan Garcia happened already. Haney versus Lomo happened already. What were your thoughts on those two fights?
Well, the Tank fight, I knew Tank would.
He's gonna put it to sleep. Yeah, he said,
I knew that was easy work for him. You know, and a lot of people, you know, Tank this, Tank. I said, man, Tank a thinking fighter. That's one thing I like about Tank. You know, he thinks when he in the ring. He don't just go out there.
100%.
Yeah, he's not trying to knock people out or overpower people. Or outwork people. He in there with a game plan. You know, he's thinking about what he gonna do next, and he's watching you, he's studying you, he's setting you up. Yeah. only the biggest weakness I would give Tank is I would say, you know, like if I was his trainer, I would make sure that he don't be too patient at times. Okay. Because the time run out.
I see what you're saying.
You know, in a 12-round fight, sometimes he might fight a better fighter, and then he be waiting for that perfect timing, and then, you know.
See, I'm always hearing about that. Now, I'm going to segue real quick, because they say that about Crawford. Crawford's a slow starter, but it's like, you know.
Well, Crawford, he a little more busier than Tank, I think. Like, and then he work his jab a little more, and Crawford got a little more height and reach. Okay. So he got a little more to work with Tank. You know,
now, you think Tank is like downloading the data? Like you say, he's smart in there. He's not just a...
Right, the whole thing with Tank, you know, the whole time, he's thinking about what he's going to do next. Okay. And how he going to set you up. Okay. But a lot of times, like, the biggest thing for Tank, I would say he would have to worry about, you know, he might fight a good athletic, quick fighter.
Who's on him?
Yeah, and just not gonna stand right in front of him.
I see what you're saying.
Give him angle.
I see what you're saying.
Boom, get his shots off, then move. But Tank just say, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get you though. I got it. But them rounds keep going by. And then Tank in the 12th round, he's still relying on Boone trying to land that home run.
I see what you're saying.
So that's what I say with Tank, man.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like, that could happen, you know, at the worst case scenario for him. But, you know, sometimes I would say, damn, maybe he needs to bring his little work rate up a little more against, you know, a certain kind of guy.
And we might see that in the future. So now the Haney Lomo fight, obviously Haney won that, but you know, not without a controversy. Right. How did you have that one?
I had Haney winning, but it was a close fight though. I tell people, like, you can't say Lomo got robbed. At the end of the day, it was a good close fight.
I agree.
If either guy would have won, I wouldn't have complained. You know, so if Lomo got the decision, I wasn't gonna complain.
Yeah, it was the 116 at 112 was a little extra. Yeah, that was a little extra. Yeah. So now the big one, you already said you got Bud against Spence. You got it going 12.
Yeah, I'll say it probably will go 12.
Okay.
You know. But you know, Spence could catch him. So if it was a knockout, hey, Spence might catch him, or Crawford actually might walk Spence into one of those traps. Because like I told Derek James, I was telling him on the little group chat we was on, and he was getting mad at me or whatever, because he think, just because we boys, what I'm supposed to say, his guy can win. No, I said, listen, he got to work on moving his head. Like, Spence don't really move his head.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like, Spence, he come high guard, he work his jab, he got all the fundamentals down pat, but I don't never really see him use upper body movement. I never see him, you know what I'm saying? I never, like react, because the thing is, as a boxer, if you got great reflexes, somebody, you're going to react.
Okay.
If you I just like Triple G the same way, I would say. And I never really noticed that.
Yeah, but I guess that's his style.
Yeah, it's his style, but Derek James is a good enough trainer and a knowledgeable enough guy to understand. I don't know. For me, I would be like, look, man, we got to work on them head movement. Because you're fighting a different guy. Like, he's doing all that with the guys he fought. But you got to think, Spence hasn't really fought a guy who slick. And Crawford is more slick than he is tough. So Crawford a thinking fighter. He got a lot of ability. So he's a more guy who, he'll try to set you up, situation like that. So I think Spence, he needs to work on throwing feints.
Okay.
Because he don't really throw, I never see him throw feints. He bakes it, like he needs to change his little style up a little bit, work on it. He got a good jab, he got good everything. Like, he got good arsenal of punches, but at the end of the day, I think Spence, he need to work on the feints and then the head movement, Other than that, he doing everything right,
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like that one, everybody got little weaknesses that could get exposed, in a fight of this magnitude, So, we'll see,
Definitely a see, man.
Like I told Jerry James, I said, well, end of the day, shit, Spence might win. So just because of that hole in the style with defense, that
doesn't mean
that don't mean that he's not gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So
still got to expose it and things
right,
like that. Yeah.
Right. Crawford got to expose that his own self.
Yeah, 100%.
Put that together. So
last one I got for you, man, is Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, the younger, smaller brother, going up against Canelo, moving up 2 weight classes. Who you got?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I probably would have to go Canelo. I think he's a little stronger and bigger. But, it's tough, though. That's a hard one to call.
Watch your back.
That's a hard one to call, but I guess I would go Canelo if they put a gun in my head, and say choose. But I'm stuck on that one, like 50-50.
Yeah.
But they both good fighters.
No, 100%. Do you think we're ever gonna get we're not ever gonna get, because Javante just came home. Shout out to him. You think we're gonna get Tank versus Haney? Because Shakur's calling them out.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Shakur, Haney,
and then the winner gets
and Tank. They do a round robin. I just want to see all three of them fight each other. And Shakur was like impressing me the least out of all of them. And I knew Shakur since he was little. When I lived in Jersey, we used to train at Red Brick Gym. He's a little boy. His dad used to bring him in the gym.
Okay.
Right when I was fighting Vargas. He was a young boy back then. He was a little young boy coming up. And then I started seeing him when he got older. I'm like, but I just kind of wasn't, like, I was liking Haney and Tank better more.
Yeah.
I was like, fire style-wise. But now as I watched Haney last fight, I said, well, I don't know. Shakur might get him,
That's a lot of people started leaning towards Shakur. They like the kid.
Shakur, I just kind of, I was just looking for something special out of him, though, when I watch him.
Okay.
When I watch Shakur, I see a guy, he throw a lot of punches, he's busy, but he just, to me, he seemed like a guy who fight off athleticism. So I just look at the back end of people's careers.
Okay.
Roger Mayweather told me and Lil Floyd, back when I was a young boy, he told us, he said, listen, man, boxing is a young man's sport. So he said, you can't be 35 trying to fight like you're 25. So when you you got that youth, fight with that youth, but it don't last. That youth don't last. So I always look at that. And Roger used to give me examples. He used to predict back in the day, like in the 90s, that Roy Jones was gonna start getting knocked out. That's what he used to always say. He's like, listen, Roy fight off reflexes. He said when he get old, he ain't gonna have them same reflexes. And then he gave me 2 examples, and I used to say, you crazy, right? I was loving Roy Jones.
Yeah.
And he used to give me 2 examples, and you would never believe the examples he would give. He said, listen, look at Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. He said when they got old, that's why they was losing the people they were supposed to beat.
Okay.
Because he said that they was training like they was still 23. And they were 35, 36, and they still was trying to think they could train and get ready like a young boy. You're not a young boy no more.
I see what you're saying.
You got to train in a different way. And Floyd, I always say Floyd took that advice to a T. And even me to a certain extent took that advice. That's why, when I got into my career, I wasn't the type of guy who was getting knocked out every fight at the end of my career. I was in there, you know what I'm saying, crafty. And Floyd, I always look at Floyd's career and I say, man, Floyd, if you look at Pretty Boy Floyd, then you look at Money Mayweather.
Money, yep, 100%. Two different.
That Money Mayweather, that was what Roger advised when Roger told him, look, when you get older, you're going to have to fight a different style. You're not that young boy no more with all those great reflexes. You still going to have your reflexes and you still sharp, but you got to do it in a different way. You can't be throwing all these punches no more,
and taking all these hits. Yeah, no, 100%.
It's a big, different ball game, and that's why Floyd's career lasts so long, he's still going. He what, 46?
Still going.
He's still going.
Exhibition money, whatever y'all need here.
Man, come on.
He said, come on.
No, but that's, the reflexes is the biggest thing in the boxing game, and them reflexes, that's why, it's a young man game, when some reflexes go, guys start getting hit with shots they ain't used to getting hit with. And it's going to have a shock reaction, and you're going to, next thing you know, you're going to look up and you're on the ground. You don't got knocked down, So, it's definitely, a big thing, in the game, People got to realize, you got to become crafty when you get older, But, everybody not going to do that because, everybody, because, a lot of guys, they fight off their athleticism. They fight off their natural speed, their natural ability. But then you got the guys who just tough, sluggers,
big heart,
coming forward, and so it all depends on what kind of style you got. I mean, you even look at a guy like James Toney. James Toney wasn't like a finesse boxer, but he gonna walk you down. But he had great defense.
Punish you,
he had shoulder roll, stand right in the pocket with you, and make you miss all day. So he didn't get hit a lot. But and, people say James Toney kind of punchy now because he sparred so much. That's all he used to want to do is spar. Like that was his workout. Come to the gym, spar 15 rounds, and then he might go do something real quick, then he go spar again. That's what James Toney. That's all he did was sparring. Then he fought all them fights. He did a lot of sparring. And
it takes a toll on you.
No, it definitely do. Especially as you get older. And James Toney fought until he was in his 40s. So he had a long career. And he fought everybody. But a lot of that sparring probably hurt him in the long run. That's what I would say.
Nah, man. Rob, man, appreciate your time, and let the people know where they can follow you on the social media.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Ross the Boss Thompson. And I got a fan page and my regular Ross Thompson regular page. And I got Instagram. I think it was my Instagram, Ross Boss, whatever it is. That's my Instagram, Ross Boss or whatever. Hit me up, yo.
Appreciate your time, man. Salute.
No doubt. One love.